Hello viewers and subscribers. It's been a while since the last iDCL review. In this case I figured why not come back with a bang and hit you with the highly anticipated prequel to the original of 2000's game Deus Ex Human Revolution. This game has its promises, especially coming from well-rounded and well-respected iDCL Interactive, as well as extremely respected role-playing genre Square Enix Studios. This game is entitled to a very interesting story and a dark hero feel. Possible prospect of what can happen when men try to play the role of the creator. Now let's see how it heeds to next generation consoles. For anyone who doesn't know the meaning of the words Deus Ex, it's Latin for God from. This referring well into the story. More easier when quoted as Deus Ex Machina. It all basically means God from machine or machine playing God, which fits well into the story. Set in the futuristic year of 2027, you play as Adam Jensen, a private sec officer for a human augmentation company known as Seraph Industries. What is human augmentation, you ask? It's when you change something of natural human form and replace it with something else artificial to take its place. For instance, replacing an arm, leg, foot, or eye with an artificial arm, leg, foot, or eye, which is basically the main theme of the entire game. Now Adam, as his complete human self, witnesses a massacre of a bunch of his staff and teammates of the company in the hands of augmentation gone wrong, or what you can say as machine developing a mind of its own. Adam finds himself dead within the first 20 minutes of gameplay, but as they did Shepard in Mass Effect 2, he is recreated, this time as a badass Neo from the Matrix looking hero. Arms, legs, and human intel completely replaced, making him some sort of a cyborg or android if you will. He even has built-in shades in his head. How cool is that? As the story continues, you travel to 4 main areas: Detroit, Shanghai, China, and Montreal, Canada, to all 3 major augmentation companies of the world. You find out how real the world can get aside from the riches of augmentation. Meet people who have become deformed and rejected as a result of augmentation, and riots everywhere trying to rebel against it. Thus throughout the story you find a dark secret and start unlocking conspiracies after conspiracies until you reach the biggest one. The main thing of this story is to find out what the hell is going on and how dark augmentation companies can get. Now being a game coming from Square Enix, a monster house when it comes to publishing beautiful looking games, Deus Ex does not live up to that of Final Fantasy or Tomb Raider's latest release, as far as console versions. In fact, sometimes cutscenes tend to look worse than actual gameplay. But Deus Ex uses a graphic engine known as Crystal Dynamics, which is known for making games such as Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider Underworld, and the newest Tomb Raider that's later to release. What I do hand to Square Enix and iDCL is the fact that visuals look pretty damn good from a far distance. Meaning that if you're caught in a gun battle and you can see a whole entire room, it looks pretty good. When seeing a human face though, it's not as much detail. It seems like they put more work into Adam's appearance than anything else. It's well rounded, but nowhere near that of Crysis or Final Fantasy. And when it comes to gameplay, Deus Ex approaches you as some off bases, nowhere near Call of Duty or Halo feel. But then again, it's a role-playing game. Before anything, you're not gonna walk through this game just shooting up everything. I really didn't like it at first and found it annoying during the first 45 minutes of gameplay, but like a shaggy chia pet, it grew on me. Approach and movement was handled pretty well. I couldn't complain. But what I couldn't understand is the cover mode in this game. It's nowhere near the vivid feel that you would get from Gears of War or Splinter Cell. In fact, at one point in the game it became a huge problem. I found myself getting killed because the cover mode was so weird. It's more of a snap-on type of cover mode rather than a vivid feel. But you get used to it. And I found myself playing more tactical rather than shooting because it worked better. This really could have been handled better. Now getting into the motion of the game, you're going to end up picking your own playstyle. And there's many to choose from. Like when in combat, you can choose either stealth, aggressive, or adaptive. When playing stealth or patient, anything can come back and haunt you. So make sure when you open doors or vents and you climb in them, make sure you close them behind you, because that can come back as a trace from the enemy to come and hunt you down. Now, hacking plays a big role in this game as well. Almost anything is hackable, from computers to doors to just entering buildings. You're gonna have to hack from time to time to get anywhere. And the key to hacking is that tutorial that it comes with. It's not very difficult, but it can be at times. You're gonna make sure you want to run through that tutorial first. Oh, and of course, what is a role-playing game without an inventory? Your inventory can go from augmentations, which plays a huge role when it comes to hacking and trying to receive data. Augmentations are something you'll have to think about pretty often during the game to succeed. They're the key to upgrades. There's lots of combat options for changing primary weapons, gaining XP, and weapon ammunition for more dominance, which is a big plus in a game like this. Deus Ex Human Revolution is a perfect example of a game that grows onto you. I warn you though, it is more of a patient game than a rush. So gamers thinking they're going to run through this game, guns blazing, think again. You will die thinking you're going to finish the game like that. And that is exactly why the game shines. It's more of a think it through. I feel this made the best release of 2011 so far. A constructive story and a well-rounded gameplay. Although it's edgy and hard to understand at times, it's very interesting and keeps gamers like myself into it and wanting to see more and what happens next, with plenty customizations and explorations. A warning though, this game does have some bugs and extremely frustrating loading times, which continues Square Enix's bad reputation for loading times. So I would suggest you install this on your console's hard drive or prepare for some long waits. Other kinks like freezes do exist in this game, but you have to remember it's a role-playing game. It's gonna happen. But I found out after you install, the freezing completely stopped for me. To wrap this one up, Deus Ex Human Revolution delivers. Even with minor kinks here and there, it doesn't affect the story nor takes away an RPG gamer's interest. I give this game a 9.1 out of 10. It's just that damn good. Now get your ass up, go to GameStop, and find out what happens when you try to alter human genes. This is iDCL, and I'm out.